Now, in the fight against crime, the first fixed facial recognition cameras are being installed in Croydon in the next few months. This has been met with a backlash from privacy campaigners, but support from those who believe it will make London's streets safer. Gemma O'Reilly reports.
We've seen them temporarily installed on police vans for large-scale events like Notting Hill Carnival. But now a facial recognition pilot is being rolled out for the first time on buildings, and Croydon is the place where it is all starting. But this hasn't been welcomed by everyone.
Well, it's very concerning. Facial recognition, by its very design, is a mass surveillance technology, and this is being deployed against people who have not had a say on this technology. This is a kind of surveillance tech that has arrived absent parliamentary oversight or regulation.
So this is the road where we believe the live facial recognition cameras will be. They will be placed on the buildings surrounding the area, and as you can see just behind me there is West Croydon Station. This is a very busy area, so these cameras will pick up biometrics from people who may not have a criminal record, but the police have said if they pick up innocent people they will delete the data immediately and it will be permanently removed.
Anthony works to steer young people away from violence in Croydon and chairs regular meetings to reduce crime. He hopes this will help to make the streets safer.
And they're taking off some of the most despicable people off the streets. Paedophiles have been taken off the street. Those that have been looked for, sought after for many years have been taken off the streets. So it's actually working. Also, I find that it's reducing the complaints I'm getting from young people around stop and search. It's targeting the right people. And I think more needs to be done to keep as many people safe as possible.
We need more cameras in our streets because this will give more confidence and people feel safe in our town. Because some cameras in the council cameras we have doesn't maintain.
We asked Croydon Council for an interview, but they declined. They said that they are working in partnership with the police and support the initiative. But the BBC has heard criticism about how this technology is being overused in areas with a higher proportion of ethnic minorities.
I want to know if this is going to be used in Kensington and Chelsea, the more affluent, well-heeled areas of London. Is it going to be used at Notting Hill just for the carnival because predominantly black and brown people attend that? I want to know that it's proportionate in its use.
It's a much divided topic of conversation in Croydon, but the Met Police says it's launched this after successfully making 500 arrests using facial recognition in targeted areas. They say they want to protect safety and privacy and continue to consult residents.
Well, Chris, this is on your patch. Your Shadow Home Secretary, the campaign group Big Brother Watch, have said that this tech is dangerously authoritarian. It encourages a lack of accountability. Do you agree?
No, they're completely wrong. This technology used in Croydon and in other parts of London, including Westminster. It's been used in Essex, been used in South Wales, all kinds of different places. It basically catches wanted people who would not otherwise be caught. Now, if you or I or your viewers who are not on the wanted list walk past the camera, your image is immediately and automatically deleted, as you would expect. But if you're on the wanted list, if you're wanted by the Met for a criminal offence and there's a match, the police pull the person over, check their identity, and they go through the normal criminal justice system. Now, I'll give you an example. There was a man who had been wanted since 2017 for a double rape, and for the 7 or 8 years since then, the police had not been able to find him anywhere. Until last year, he walked past one of these cameras in Croydon High Street. They got a match. He got arrested. That was a man, a rapist, a wanted rapist, who would not otherwise have been caught. And just in Croydon Town Centre alone, in the last year or so, about 200 serious criminals have been caught who would not otherwise have been caught. Crime in the town centre has gone down. And when I talk to residents in the area, including Anthony, who you interviewed just there, but other people as well, they support it. Residents in Croydon support it because they know that if they get scanned, their image gets deleted, but it takes criminals off the street. I think it's a good idea, and I'd like to see it rolled out, not just across London, but across the whole country. It'll keep our society safer.
So you've given some good examples of where it has worked so far there, but critics are saying that this technology is actually being introduced without any legislation, without any oversight. And what guarantees are there that images will immediately be deleted?
So that's not entirely true. So the police have common law powers to fight crime. There was a court case about 4 years ago which looked at the way this technology was used in South Wales, and the judge in that case set out various conditions. For example, when it's used, there has to be signs displayed so the public can see it's being used. You have to prove that there's no racial disproportionality. The accuracy, which is the case now, the accuracy has to be above 1 in 1,000. In fact, the only, I think, case of mistaken identity in Croydon was the twin brother of the wanted person. All kinds of restrictions like that. That's been enshrined in the police's, they call it authorised professional practice. So there are really clear guidelines in place to make sure that it's run properly, it's run fairly, there's no discrimination, and that the public can have confidence in it. And all I can say from the sort of the experience in Croydon is it really is working in keeping Croydon safer.
Deirdre, you've been nodding a lot to what Chris has been saying. Are you in support of this kind of system? And what's the cost? Do you think it should be rolled out across London?
Yeah, I think outbreak of cross-party agreement on this one. Certainly, I agree. People want to feel safe in London, and I think this has been successful in catching some of the worst criminals, rapists, people involved in domestic abuse. So I think it's something that we should support, and I'm satisfied that the Mayor has ensured that there is sufficient safeguards in place. There is a committee that is overseeing the use of the technology, and I think it goes alongside other changes that the new Labour government has brought in. So we've got respect orders that are being introduced, so people will be able to stop who are engaged in antisocial behaviour, drugs, alcohol use. They can be arrested now, which they haven't been able to do in the past. So we'll be able to arrest people. They'll be subject to up to 2 years in prison. So there is increasing numbers of police powers that the new government is bringing in that go alongside this kind of technology.
What's the kind of cost of this? Is it to replace bobbies on the beat? Do they work in conjunction? Is somebody actually monitoring those feeds? Is it already done by tech?
So it has to be monitored, because if there's a match identified, you then need a physical police officer to go and say, like, excuse me, sir, can I just check who you are? So you need physical police officers deployed alongside the cameras.
So that's not sustainable across London, is it?
Well, I mean, you know what? The results they get from this are so extraordinary that it's a far better use of police time than any other activity they may be undertaking. So it's a way of making the police officers we have, and by the way, the last government delivered record ever numbers of police officers across England.
On that
and, no, I'm afraid, Deirdre,
I'm afraid it's not true.
I'm afraid it's a fact. It is true.
You took £1 billion
We did. Hang on a sec.
The breakout of harmony was brief.
With great respect. Hang on. I was the police minister. I was the police minister. It was 149,769. It was a record ever number. A record ever number.
People can see what's happening on the street.
Go and look it up.
Nobody believes these numbers.
Look it up. These are facts.
We must leave it there. Thank you so much.